our next guest, is a licensed marriage and family therapist who wants to help couples better connect with one another.
This is true. Chris Matthews also has a book out. It's called Finding Your Relationship Fix: The 4 Reasons Couples Seek Counseling. He's also a husband and a father of 3. Chris, good morning. Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining.
And a very sharp dresser,
Always.
by the way.
I'm loving the threads there. I'm loving that shirt.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so when I already disclosed to him that I am skeptical about couples therapy, be that as it may.
This one.
When should couples seek out marriage therapy?
So couples should seek out therapy early and often.
Yeah.
You also hear a lot of times couples will talk about premarital counseling. I'm a proponent of pre-engagement counseling. Once you've already said I do, or excuse me, said yes to the proposal, there's now pressure.
Right.
So if you get to counseling early in that relationship, then you're able to hash out the issues before you have those pressures or the invitations going out.
Yeah, you had used the phrase prepare and prevent rather than repair and repent later.
Okay, I like that.
Which is a great line.
This aligns with my skepticism because I feel like if you've already been married, you were already a little broken or loose before you made the commitment to be with
a little broken and loose.
A little broken and loose. But you think you have to fix yourself before you try to fix the unit. But what are the 4 reasons couples seek counseling in the first place?
Definitely. So based on my book, the 4 reasons couples seek counseling are because one or both partners doesn't feel safe, heard, understood, or loved and cared for. And back to your point, 40% of current marriages are second or third time marriages.
Wow. Now you take an approach that's called a systemic approach. So explain that to folks at home.
So as a licensed marriage and family therapist, even working with individuals, we look at the system, the whole. So not just the person or the issues, but everything that interacts with that person. So your career, your family, all of the different things that come together to make you you, because a relationship is a shared space with another person. You don't bring 50% of yourself into the relationship.
Right. You bring your whole self.
Everything, the good, the bad, ugly, the trauma, all of that. So if you don't process that stuff before you get into the relationship, you're going to bring it into a new relationship with another partner.
One of the other things you brought up was people will go to you, well, what's your success rate? But you were saying it's more about your outcome rate. And what does that actually mean, your outcome?
So outcomes are essential to what you're gaining from the process. It's not the therapist's job to put people together or pull them apart. The job of the clinician is to work through the goals that that client has when they come into therapy. So there's this perception or conception that people are going to therapy because the therapist is there to fix something. It's you doing the work. The therapist is there as a co-pilot to guide you through that process based on education and training.
Right. I do love that when people are like, he didn't fix me.
Right.
Or she didn't fix me.
Well, they think somebody's going to get blamed by the counselor in the relationship.
Right.
Instead of seeking out why that misbehavior, if you will, occurred, right?
This, we were talking about this earlier, so many of us fall into the, you expect your partner to read your mind. But I also have heard to that point, I don't know how to communicate. I think in my marriage, and I got divorced, I didn't know how to ask for what I wanted. And then I just became afraid to communicate. So I just shut down completely. So how do, in the 1 minute we have left, how do we find this? Yeah, how do we find a way to evolve from I expect you to read my mind?
Yeah, so communication is going to be based on what I like to call the 3 T's: timing, tone, and topic. So making sure that when you have a difficult conversation with your partner, you know that the time is right. When the husband gets off work, it's not the right time to have the conversation. Also, making sure that you understand the tone. When you have an inviting tone, when you pull your partner in, you want your light to be bright enough, but yet soothing enough to pull your partner in. And then topic. Certain conversations need part 1, 2, 3, 4, and
17.
5. Right. So making sure you're not trying to rush and get everything out. And then vulnerability. Making sure that you're willing to connect with the person.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much more here. I mean, you would just, again, talking about scratching the surface.
I know. And there's the book, Finding Your Relationship Fix. Chris A. Matthews, thank you so much for joining us.
Great stuff.
Thanks for having me. It's a
Please
pleasure
come
to be
back.
here. Yes, I will.
We just scratched the surface.
Absolutely. More to come.